Hey YouTube and TI community worldwide, I trust you're all doing well. This is Shane Gibbs, targeted individual from the UK. Today I want to just briefly run over a few topics, but firstly, probably and most importantly, is over the weekend myself and a few other TIs, along with a couple of non-TIs that acted as presenters. We spent Saturday filming some footage for a brand new YouTube channel called TITV. TITV is going to be a platform for UK TIs to come forward and give their testimonies. We will be over the coming weeks and months adding footage to that channel from various videos and interviews that will be taking place. I must urge that any UK-based TIs that are feeling up to giving their testimonies on their targeting and are willing to be filmed and put onto TI television or TI TV, I should say, then please either leave a comment underneath this video, or alternatively, the channel is already set up. There's no programs actually been put up there because we only done the first filming on Saturday. We had a great day, and hopefully we took some really great footage, and I hope you guys will bring yourselves to come forward and join the collective that we're hoping to build over in the coming future to hopefully start getting some recognition. We are going to be looking for quite an amount of testimonies to then put together and seek some kind of advice from an official body possibly in government, or from one of the many human rights organisations that claim to be there to help people that are in distress. As you guys know, we TIs, we're tortured on a daily basis, and our lives are being turned upside down through this program. And it's about time that somebody took a stand in the UK and started formulating and bringing together the community here in the UK to start fighting a better battle. Because basically it is a war. It might sound strange saying that, but basically we have been dragged into some kind of sick and twisted war for our lives and our minds, and some of us have had plenty and have had quite enough. And too many years of putting up with this in silence. So I urge all UK TIs to come forward and to make their presence known, and we will be speaking to quite a few, and hopefully quite a few people in the near future about getting their testimonies out onto TI TV. It's predominantly going to be based and has been set up for UK-based TIs. Nobody, to my knowledge, has actually come up with any serious platform for TIs to actually come together as a collective. I think, like I mentioned in previous videos, as a single voice, as a single TI, going to the authorities with your story. Especially here in the UK, you will be ridiculed, you will be laughed at, you will possibly be analysed by a psychologist or some kind of shrink, because that's their only get out of jail clause that I can see at the moment. The fear of retribution from the authorities that are blatantly involved in this the whole targeted individual program is pretty obvious. So the only way that myself and the guys that are going to be putting the channel together and getting the information out there to not only to the UK and to the public, but also to the globe. Hopefully we can start geeing up other targeted individuals to start doing similar things. the time for sitting silent and suffering alone is well and truly over. We need to start fighting back, and the only way that we can fight back is as a collective. So the more TIs that come forward and are willing enough and brave enough to get their story out there, what you got to remember is that this program relies on your fear. It relies on you remaining in silence. It relies on you being too scared and negative about coming forward with. Sounds like the postman. He'll have to wait. So yeah, TITV is going to be coming. Well, hopefully, it's going to become one of the biggest platforms in the UK for genuine TIs to come and give their testimonies. And so yeah, the channel's already up. It's already activated. So please subscribe. And hopefully we can start putting a action plan together to start getting somebody in officialdom to recognise that this is actually going on. That's the first hurdle that we need to get over. It is purely the denial from everybody in officialdom that this program actually exists. But if you've got hundreds of thousands of people all across the globe, and possibly tens of thousands here in the UK, that are all claiming exactly the same thing, maybe in different stages, but exactly the same thing that's happening to them, they are going to have no choice but to look into this and investigate what's going on. We'll probably be looking for in the early stages, probably between 30 and 50 testimonies and TIs that are willing to become part of the collective that we're hoping we can build here in the UK. As with anything, fingers crossed it won't get thwarted by the powers that be. I seem to be seeing quite a lot of censorship that's coming about throughout the, especially on YouTube and various other platforms. That seem to be, obviously someone's getting a little bit worried about this information getting out. This whole program relies on secrecy and stealth, and they rely on it staying under the cover of secrecy. So we're looking to break that secrecy and bring this out to officialdom and to members of the normal public. You know, this program has got no shame. You know, they have been targeting some, like I've mentioned in previous videos. You know, I was talking to an 84-year-old lady that is feeling the effects of the targeting it was a granddaughter basically that was forced to go and live with her grandmother. The grandmother then started to get harassed in her property. This is an 84-year-old lady, and they've got no shame. So we need to start coming together and getting our stories out there, and start looking for some kind of legal redress for what's happened to us. There's, you know, one of the guys over the weekend said, "This is crazy, Shane. You can trip over a loose paving slab and claim compensation, and yet having your life destroyed, and you can actually back that comment up with evidence to prove that there's something very well, evil and surreal going on with you and your individual lives. Then we need to start working together to bring this to the light. You know, it needs to be dragged out of the darkness and into the light. You know, and we need to start making these people accountable for what they're doing to us. So please look up TITV and subscribe. I think there's a few of my videos up there, and there's a few other bits of information that you'll probably find quite interesting, quite useful about the program. and yeah, look out for the first program that hopefully should be it's getting edited as we speak, and should be up on the TITV channel within the next week or so, all depending on how long the editing takes. But we had a great day. There were several TIs there, particularly myself, Fiona, Kieran Lee Perrin, somebody else that I won't mention at the moment because she doesn't really want to make herself known to the world yet because of certain legal aspects that's coming up in her life. But we are the three original members of the TI community that was basically ridiculed through the Vice documentary that I'm sure many of you have seen, yeah, it's gonna, fingers crossed, we can turn it into a platform for TIs not only to come together but also to start networking, because if you don't network with anything, you know, not only with TIs but with anything, if you don't network and come together, then nothing's going to happen. They will continue to persecute us individually. They will continue to devastate and destroy our lives and turn everything upside down, and probably still carry on with the very wafer thin mental health strategy that they tend to have used up to now. So the sooner that we can all come together, the sooner that not only will give you moral support, and hopefully a kinder ear to vent your frustrations to another TI. This is very hard. This program is very hard to discuss with a non-TI, unless you've been in the program and you felt the wrath of these people. Then you're not going to understand. You're seriously not going to understand. So my advice to UK TIs is to come forward and get your testimony out there, and hopefully you be welcomed onto TITV and become part of the first, of my knowledge, UK based platform for targeted individuals in this country. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to run through today. There was a couple of other points that I wanted to talk about. What I need to make people aware of is that there are certain so-called targeted individuals that seem to think that they seem to be under the impression that they some kind of leader of the TI community. There's one particular guy that I had corresponded with last year and earlier on this year. The guy's a web designer. He's basically he's a keyboard coward. He sets up website after website after website. He was involved with World Cash, and I think his latest venture is TIA website, the Targeted Individual Association. The guy's not willing to get his hands dirty at all. He has recently been on his Facebook page and posting in various targeted individual groups on Facebook, lying about the fact that he's got some kind of team of solicitors that picked up his case about his targeting, and in the next breath he is asking for people from the TI community to contribute towards building €8,000, which he states that it's going to cost to pay this firm of lawyers. This guy that I'm talking about, I actually played a little bit of a doozy on him and contacted him and asked him to show me some official correspondence from this firm of lawyers and this team of solicitors, which he failed to do. I actually said to him that if you can prove to me that you've got an official firm of solicitors or team of lawyers that, like you state you have, then I'll be more than willing to possibly look into doing some fundraising for him. He and on that request for that information, he then came back to me and said, "Oh, don't worry, Shane, it's not a problem now. I've actually raised that money." So he failed to show me any correspondence. Effectively, he is looking to fund his lifestyle out in Spain in his nice villa that apparently he lives in, off of the the backs of targeted individuals. As you all know, finances are a massive thing when it comes down to the targeted individual program. They decimate your finances. So this guy is a leech, and he needs to be outed, and he needs to not be trusted. So if you come across a guy that wants you to get involved with a website, and starts promising you the world, and starts saying that he's got teams of lawyers and teams of solicitors at his disposal, just be aware that he's lying, and be very, very careful. He's not a very pleasant man. I also came across an interview that he gave on an alien orientated YouTube channel last week or the week before, where this same guy's talking about how he thinks that aliens have come down and manipulated our DNA and built humans and Anunnakis and Sumerian tablets, etc., etc., etc. I think the guy's delusional, to be honest. I think the program has probably got to him more than what he would like to agree or admit to. And it's just a bit of a warning, you know. Stay away from anybody that hides behind a keyboard. If they're not willing to come forward and start facing this the way that some of us are doing, then you need to start questioning why. And whatever you do not send these parasites any money. You know, we have to. It's bad enough dealing with the gang stalking side of the gang stalkers and the perpetrators of this program. You know, why should we have to watch our backs from people that are members of the TI community? So just be aware and be very do your due diligence, and be very be very careful about what you do and what you say and what you send to people, because there are a lot of charlatans out there. I'm not saying there's a lot, but in my time as a TI here in the UK, I've come across several people that claim their TIs, and basically all they're after is for you to fund their lifestyle. So yeah, just be very careful. And also when it comes down to sending your money, you know, there's another group out there that's being sanctioned by a TI called Magnus Olsen. He is fronting up and promoting, and as he has done over the years, several different companies for several different items. I believe he was the front man for some, I think it was Kyle Idol Gold or something about 7 or 8 years ago. Then he was approached by a company called Q-Wave, who also wanted him to start promoting their products, and the latest one is a Russian firm called Mindtech, who is promoting their products, and basically these products don't work. You might get the odd person chirp up, whether they're paid by the firm and to act as a perpetrator to try and up sales, but you mean these guys are asking for like €2,000 and 3,000 euros for silly little pendants that you hang around your neck to stop your electronic harassment. You know, it's crazy. Do you know what I mean? How dare anybody even contemplate making a living off of the backs of people that are being tortured and having their lives destroyed? You know, what on earth are these people doing? I mean, they're just as bad, in my opinion. They're just as bad as the perpetrators that are in the working for the dark side. You know, it's crazy. You know, these people, they need to step back and realise that all of us guys are in the same position. You mean, we're all financially virtually destitute. You know, we've all had our livelihoods and businesses destroyed and work and employment messed around with. You know, how dare they? I mean, how dare they start sort of like promoting something that doesn't work? And like I mentioned, you know, the Magnus Olsen, he promoted Colloidal Silver and Colloidal Gold for a firm several years ago, and then went on to Q-Wave. Q-Wave's another company that claim that they can stop the electronic harassment, and and I'm yet to find somebody that's actually bought one of these items and they've actually worked. So these guys are just charlatans. They're out to take the money, what money you have got, out of your pocket. They're asking for you to out of your desperation seek help from these stupid little devices and these little pendants. The only way this program's going to come down, the only way this program's going to stop, is from the inside. That's the only way. Do people not realise that? So, I mean, nobody knows for a fact exactly how they do this. Nobody knows for a fact exactly what equipment they use. Nobody knows exactly where the companies are, the subcontracting security companies that I'm under the impression that this life-destroying program uses. And the reason that they use outside security firms is because the government don't want to be held accountable once this does get exposed. So, I mean, this program, it disgusts me. The people that are involved in it, I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed for them. It's shameful what they're doing. These people are wicked, evil people. They've got no conscience. They must be psychopathic. They're either that, or they're so controlled by the people that are running this program that they're either maybe they're in fear. The program runs on fear. But once you've been dragged to hell and back a few hundred times, I mean, the fear element really gets a little bit thinned. And you become emotionless to what they do. So just be very careful. One day this program will stop, and it will stop because of activism from a collective. It will not stop on an individual basis. You will not be taken out of this program if you go and try and start sourcing justice individually. So I'll call it a day there. I've got a couple of other bits and pieces that I want to talk about, but due to the length of this video has gone now, and the amount of time that it's going to take to upload to YouTube, I will cut it short there. And I trust all UTIs are well. Please remain strong and live in hope that this program will one day be ended. I know it's not hard. I know it's not easy to deal with this program, and I know that through first-hand personal experience, and also the amount of people that I've networked with and come into contact with over the years of being in this program personally. So just keep your wits about you. Be careful about who you speak to and how you speak to people about this program, and look out for TITV. TITV is hopefully, fingers crossed, we can start making an impact and start fighting back from our side. The destruction that this program causes to an individual's life and to society as a whole. If you look at it from a bigger picture, what is this doing to society? It's destroying it. It's dividing it. It's not helping it in any fashion. These people are the people that are controlling this program, the people that are involved in this program are very sick. They're very sick. They're very ill and mentally unhealthy. So remain strong. And get in touch. If you want any more information about TITV, then please get in touch and leave a comment underneath this video. Like I say, that's it for now. Keep your chins up and remain defiant, TIs. And thank you, YouTube, for allowing this content to be aired. So that's it for now. I'll stop the video here, and I'll catch up with you guys and girls later on. Take care.